Yeah, listener, I'm glad you asked. So, the saying behind me with the lion is some battles are fought in the shadows before anyone realizes they're there, right? And I think that's how most of us go through our lives, right? Like we're battling demons that people don't see, whatever that might be, our personal life or drugs or whatever it may be. And people are typically very unkind, right? Like they judge off whatever they think. Now, what Rampage's kid did was something that I don't really find acceptable, right? Like, it's half a work, right? The guy doesn't think you're really gonna beat the hell out of him, and then you do, and to me that is like taking advantage. So, I'm an example. I spar at a gym now. It's my jiu-jitsu gym I spar at, and there's this kid named Toby. Now, Toby runs during sparring the entire time. He takes advantage of the fact that there's no ring, there's no cage. He runs all over those mats to not engage, right? And it's actually kind of funny. So every once in a while I would feint, whether a kick and I'd watch Toby run as fast as he could, and I'd smile. And Toby got to the point where he knew I was making fun of him. Now, Toby doesn't spar with 16-ounce gloves, and I try to give grace on this. Because Toby probably can't afford, good gloves, although he did buy some later, so who knows. They're like 10-ounce, really used gloves. So one day, Toby steps inside, and he cracks me twice, left hook, right hand, something like that. Bam, bam. And I get my composure again, and I go, okay, pussy, you want to go? And then he kicks me in the face real quick and scratches me with his nasty toenail. Now, could Toby do that if he knew we were fighting full contact, one-on-one? No, Toby couldn't do that. Toby lulled me into a sense of confidence and peace that he's going to run and we're not really going really hard. And then Toby essentially cheap shot at me. Like, Toby doesn't ever want a real fight. Toby has also the habit of knocking out any beginner that comes into the class. So guys that are good, he doesn't want to fight. But guys that have some skill, he cheap shots, right? Like when he can, and then he tries to get out of it. And so where am I going with this? So Quinton Jackson's kid, obviously, the guy, he must have known that part of this was a pro wrestling work, and that whatever that pro wrestling guy was saying to him and whatnot was related to a work, which is a fake fight, right? If you then take advantage of that fake fight and jump in like Toby did and crack the guy a few times, you are essentially you're a cheap shot artist. Look, there's a million guys who think they're tough, they got tattoos and whatnot, and what do? They go to a bar, they talk a little crap to a guy who's smaller than them and obviously weaker and doesn't want to fight, and then they come back and they cheap shot him, right? Like, that is not courageous, that is not tough, that is not anything like that, right? Like, and I think Quinton Jackson said it well. Quinton Jackson said, hey man, I don't approve of what my son did. That is not cool, and you should not do that. Chael Sonnen came out defending him, but Chael says things just to get attention, so to speak. So that's the way I feel about it, man. I'm all about a fair fight. Rarely are fights fair because what usually happens? I gave you the bar scene. There's a lot of guys who think they're tough, and they get around 30 of their friends, and then they start acting crazy, right? They got 30 people in backup there. I could name some groups that I'm not gonna say right now. So yeah, that's just my take on it, listener. I think whatever he did was wrong, and it's bad for pro wrestling, and it's bad for MMA. So yeah, there it is. Everybody, like and subscribe for more on the Fight King.